Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Oh, my brain is fried. I am tired. The show is going to be terrible. That's your rundown. If you choose to bail now, well, you're a coward. If you choose to stay, you're probably going to make fun of me anyway, and in that case, you're just a meanie head. But choose whether or not you're going to be a meanie head or a coward.
It's hard not to call you that word now.
You're not supposed to say that while I'm live on YouTube. It can get me banned, my love.
What if I call you a fig Newton?
What's going on, everybody? Oh, man, I've got some fun stories to pull up. I also have an update kind of for like the conversation that we had on Monday about The Witcher 3, me playing The Witcher 3, and my thoughts on it. My thoughts really haven't changed. They've actually gotten worse. But we're going to talk about it. So, but before we do all of that, as I have been doing recently, if you guys have anybody in your life that you're thinking about or anybody that you want to keep in your thoughts and prayers, I want you guys take a moment, think about them. Let's all pray together for those that we're thinking about. Really quickly start off the show. As always, we're going to have some fun and all that, but the world's kind of in a difficult place right now. And you know what? I absolutely believe that prayer is one of the best ways that we can help out those and also remind those that we are thinking about them. So let's take a quick moment to say a prayer for those that we are thinking about today. So in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. All right. Thank you guys so much for showing up to the show early. We've got, I think it's Shadowed something. I think it's Jane Schultz, but she's on a different profile now. I think that's who it is. I think it's Jane, if I remember correctly. Because everybody has to use like 5 different internet names. It's so weird. As a creator, you're like, no, I have one internet name. I was like, actually, I have more than one internet name. But yeah, Liu, what's going on? What did she call you? Not allowed to say it on YouTube. It starts with an F, and it refers to cigarettes over in Europe. Anyway, also Xavier Guzman, what's going on? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you, dude. So, all right. So going back to the conversation we had on Monday about, and I was going to clip that, but I wasn't sure if that would have been a good video. I also didn't know how to title it or what the thumbnail was going to be, but I might do it, and I might clip it. So here's where I'm at with The Witcher 3. Because I've gotten a bunch of comments that seem to be fairly reasonable, and a bunch of I also talked with my buddy, my best friend, who he's played The Witcher 3, because I'm not getting it. I'm 20 hours in. I don't get it. I don't. It's Shadow Dancer. Oh, that makes sense, but no vowels. Got it. Old D&D class I liked years ago. Yeah, I've heard of that. I haven't played a lot of D&D. I've played other like indie tabletops. Not D&D, but yeah, a pile of sticks. Technically, it's a bundle. Anyway, we're moving on from what my wife called me. So I was talking with my buddy, and my one buddy really knows me and really knows how I think. And so as I'm talking with him about just issues that I have with The Witcher 3 and just how I'm not getting into it, and he's like, no, I really want you to figure out a way to explain it to me. And the way that I explained it to him, and I went through a bunch of different games that I've played in the past, storylines that I've liked, between simple storylines, complicated storylines, and a bunch of the interpersonal storylines. And usually in games, that's what actually makes it, because usually like, oh my gosh, this character was my favorite character. This character was my favorite side character. That tends to be because the writer really understands that interpersonal relationship that they're writing. So far in The Witcher 3, I've not experienced this. Now, I also accept that there are a lot of people that say that The Witcher 3 is their GOAT of all time, right? That like it is the GOAT, period, and it begins and ends with The Witcher. That's where their GOAT is. And I'm just not getting it. Now, generally, when I've played games that just aren't for me. I still play through them. I can still recognize their quality. I can still see why somebody would like the game. And I go, it's just not for me. In the case of The Witcher, I am at a point right now where everybody tells me, no, you've got to invest in the story, you've got to invest in the characters. And I don't believe that I have to invest in it. I believe that the game should be good enough that it basically forces investment on me, right? And that's kind of a weird way of looking at it. But basically, for all of those out there who have played their favorite games of all time, you pick up a game, you start playing it, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm hooked. And you didn't do that. The game did that to you. That's a good game. I'm not getting that out of The Witcher right now. So I talk with my buddy and I explain to him, here's the deal. People keep telling me the story and the writing are just top tier in the game world. And I'm not seeing it. Because I was kind of explaining a lot of my issues, and the more of them that became prevalent, the more that I thought about the game. He's like, dude, if you're struggling with a game like this, just quit, just stop. And I'm like, no. And here's why. Because I want to know why people like this game, and I'm not seeing it yet because the game hasn't presented it to me. And I said, and Matt, I am not so arrogant to think that the rest of the world says that Witcher 3 is such a fantastic game, and I'm the only jagoff on the planet that's like, no, it's obviously a bad game. So I said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bully my way through it because everybody tells me the writing is good. Well, that tells me that eventually the writing gets to a point where it's going to get good, where they hit their stride and they really start nailing the writing. As of right now, we're not there. I was like, but I think it's going to show up eventually. And I want to know why people like this game. At the end of it, I might not like it, but I still plan to complete the game. And my buddy's like, tell you what, I kind of need a game to play. And he's like, because some of the games he's just like overly addicted to. And he's like, I haven't played The Witcher 3 in a while. He's like, so here's what I'm going to do. He's like, I'm going to play the game and let's establish some ground rules. All right, we're going to complete the game. And I was like, all right, what does that mean? He goes, well, we need to complete the main game and the DLCs that are out. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got the DLCs. Awesome. He's like, where are we at with side quests? I was like, well, we have to side quest. I was like, so just side quest to your heart's content, right? You want to do as many or as little side quests as you want. I was like, I like to clear most of an area on side quests, so I'll probably do that. And he's like, cool. And then he goes, and then what we're going to do is after we complete the game, after we complete The Witcher 3, we are going to do a podcast here on this channel. That's right, the two original hosts of A Drink with Crazy. The guy I started the channel with, he's going to make a comeback, and we are going to talk about The Witcher 3 and whether or not my mindset has changed on it. We also have a rule that as I'm playing the game and going through it, we are not allowed to talk about it outside of a couple of things that we can use as bullet points for our conversation. And because as of right now, I'm just confused. I don't get it. It's okay. It's not a GOAT, in my opinion, right now. But supposedly, there's a lot of game left. And I kind of had the same opinion about Mass Effect. And my buddy told me, he's like, oh, how far did you make it into Mass Effect? I was like, well, I made it about here. And he goes, oh, that's why. He goes, most people say Mass Effect 1 is so good because basically you'll do this mission, and then after that point, the writing is just on fire, and it's just really good. So I'm thinking that that's probably going to be the same thing with The Witcher 3, because again, how can that, because I am not the type of person who just goes out and like, well, I knew them before they were popular. No, I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I wait until something's popular, and then I check it out. Part of the reason I'm checking out The Witcher 3, and I tend to like the popular things. I tend to like the popular things. I wonder why. Wonder why they're popular. Probably because they're good. So anyway, that's to kind of conclude and continue on the conversation we were having on Monday. And I hope you guys are here for it. I hope you guys like that podcast. We're going to talk about a 10-year-old game and just my avid opinions about a 10-year-old game. But really, also me just, I don't want to just give up on the game, because it would be easy to do that. Well, it's just not for me. I don't like that answer. I don't like that answer, especially when people are like, dude, this is like a 100-hour game. You're 20 hours into it. It gets good. And I'm like, all right. So I'm not going to give up on The Witcher 3. I'm not going to give up on The Witcher 3. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat the DLC. I'm going to play a lot of the side quests. I'm going to increase the difficulty level because I feel I just need to for the way that I play. I am going to accept the combat system and the progression system, even though it doesn't let me play the way that I want to. And I'm just going to bully my way through it. And hopefully at some point, the game forces that investment on me because that's what good games do. What do you guys think? Do you guys, I mean, would you guys tune in for that conversation? Probably not, but I also love having my best friend who started the channel with me on. You guys can go back and see the original videos, the oldest ones. Oof, they were rough. Oh, so rough. Definitely did not have the audio equipment that we do now. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Living the Principal Skinner meme from The Simpsons. Right? Right? Is everybody else is like, wait, am I wrong about The Witcher 3? No. It's the gamers who are wrong about The Witcher 3. Oh, man. There's some anime I feel the same way about. I can see why they're popular, but I don't like them. D. Grayman, never. Attack on Titan as examples. Attack on Titan really fell off towards kind of the end. And they actually had a different ending in the anime than they did. They tweaked some dialogue in the end of the anime. The end of Attack on Titan is actually about season 2 of Attack on Titan to the end of Attack on Titan is just not good. Season 1 is phenomenal. Season 1 is fantastic. The rest of that anime is arguably poor writing, and it fell apart. What did I hear? It was like, yeah, it's like the main character, which is Eren, is always captured or like they have to find him, and he's not even like around in a lot of it. And it's like, wow, that's very true. Yeah, Attack on Titan was rough for a very good reason. What's going on with you guys this week? Don't forget to chat down below because I do like to chat with you guys down below. I also have some interesting things brought up this week. I'm going to see how long I can go. Giggity. I'm going to see how long I can go tonight. Like I said, I'm tired. My brain is fried. I am attempting to construct sentences. Which that's not good because I can't normally construct sentences. So tonight I'm attempting to construct what I normally can't construct. Tell me how well it goes. And we're going to get into some of this. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Attack on Titan, the first season was really, I like super cool action scenes. Like it's very easy to please me in an anime. If you have action every single... There are anime people like, oh, the action's good. And I'm like, cool. And I watch like 3 episodes. And I'm like, there hasn't been action. Why? And then they do the action. I'm like, this is cool. And they go look another few episodes. And I'm like... Usually I stop watching those ones. Usually I just kind of give up. I like very, very simple stories, or I like very, very like well-written, like high IQ stuff. Anything in the middle, I'm just like, nah, I don't care. I like The Expendables, okay? I love The Expendables. That movie, so a buddy of mine in high school is like, it has no plot. I'm like, doesn't need to have plot. It's got action heroes shooting motherfuckers. Why do you need plot for action heroes to shoot motherfuckers? You don't. Stop it. Don't overcomplicate it. And then I bitch about The Witcher 3 for not having compelling enough. I'm very... Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament arc especially. I've never watched Yu Yu Hakusho. I was not big into anime up until a couple years ago. And I got into anime because my oldest daughter started getting into anime. And it was like, okay, if she's going to want to watch some anime, I need to go and just binge watch a crap load of them, so that way I can tell my kids which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are to avoid, which ones have themes that are, because sometimes it's like, oh, this is rated for like, 12 and 14-year-olds, and then some of the imagery in those, you're just like, that's not for a 12 and 14-year-old. No. So I got into anime just because I binge watched a crap load of it. So that way I was like, if my kids were like, Dad, have you heard of this anime? I had a pretty good idea of saying, yes, I have, you can watch it, or no, you know what I mean? So that way I didn't have to be like, well, I have to watch it first and then never get around to it. I basically wanted to beat my kids to watching the anime. So yeah, I wasn't into anime until like 3 years ago, I would say. 3 years ago is about when I got it. Really started diving in deeper on a lot of especially modern stuff. And a lot of the modern animes are kind of, they're okay. They're all right. But yeah, so anyway, without any further ado, I have a couple of things. I have a former Assassin's Creed director story. I have a Ubisoft story where they laid off a bunch of people and now the union's mad at them, which, fuck the unions anyway. I also have a Mortismal video of his thoughts on spoilers, which that really interests me. And then I got a 3-year-old video from a guy called Kit Boga. And apparently he likes to make fun of the scammers and stuff like that. And so we're going to see what we can get through here tonight. But guys, thank you all so much for joining me. And let's get into this first story from gamesindustry.biz. This is a very good website, by the way. If you'll notice on the channel a lot, I pick from a lot of the same places. It's because these are places that I've kind of looked over, and I've also seen which other YouTubers use them as sources, the trusted guys, and gamesindustry.biz is one of the more trusted ones. I'm not saying they're totally trustworthy because I can't vet them 100%, but so if you guys start seeing a lot of ones that just keep popping up, it's because I really only use like 6 sources because some of I'm not going to read Eurogamer. Eurogamer just makes crap up. But anyway, former Assassin's Creed director Alexandra Amancio explains how to fix AAA development. This, and I kind of read the subtitle, not the title, the article title, whatever. Subtitle. All right. At DevCon Lisbon. Gosh, that's such a British name.
Is there a movie with that?
Probably. I don't know. It's over. It's over in Europe land. We kicked Europe land out of here a few hundred years ago. Anyway, in November, Alexandra Amancio gave a presentation entitled From AAA to Ashes, Why the Future Belongs to the Bold. Whoa! Okay, that is a baller title. That should be a documentary title. And this was a present. You wasted this on a PowerPoint? He's European, whatever. I guess we can only give them so much credit. Okay. He didn't mince his words in the talk's descriptions. After a decade of overexpansion, studio bloat, and risk-averse thinking, which comes from investors, that's where the risk-averse thinking comes from. We're now living through the fallout, mass layoffs, creative stagnation, and a growing disconnect between developers and the games they make. Somewhat along the way, we stopped chasing greatness and started chasing metrics. We prioritized politics over craft, comfort over challenge, and content pipelines over originality. In sum, the Western games industry is in crisis. Dude! I don't even know who this man's is, but I think I love him. Babe, am I allowed to love him? She says she doesn't care, so I can love him. So Amancio says, Amancio is currently a senior vice president of world building and IP strategy at Fun Plus. Never heard of that. But previously, he was a creative director of Assassin's Creed Revelations and Assassin's Creed Unity. So we're going back to the good ones. Oh, the future belongs to the bald? Hey, I'm going bald. Oh, that's funny. Did I say bald? I thought I said bold. So he knows a thing or two about running huge productions with hundreds of people and where things need to improve. Following his talk, GamesIndustry.biz caught up with Amancio to find out what he thinks needs to be done to solve the current crisis in AAA game development. So how do you fix AAA game development? What's the secret? Okay, this is what I want to know. This is what I actually clicked on this article for, so I really hope he gives it here and he doesn't bury the lead. It says, I think the secret is asking the question. I've had many discussions with many people across different scales of games and many different genres. And the thing that everybody agrees on is that making a game is tough. There's a thing called the wicked problem that describes a kind of problem where there's many different potential inputs. And what happens in the process is inherently variable. So when you actually solve that problem and you have an output, it is mathematically impossible to backtrack and figure out, this is interesting, and figure out whether the process was the most efficient one and whether you get to the best result. I have never thought about that before. That is hugely insightful. Basically, you're creating a game. You're probably using a game engine of some kind. Maybe your own proprietary game engine, especially back then. And now, in order to solve this problem, to make your game just function, and it works really well, but it's like, can you actually reproduce that the next time around? Because is it even mathematically quantifiable to be able to say that, yes, this is the most efficient way to do it? And then by trying to do that, does it make the next game worse or better? I've never even thought about that. Okay, I learned something new. This is called the wicked problem. I learned something new tonight. Okay. I am a big dum-dum. I did not know this before. This is fantastic. Making a game falls into the category, and so it's normal that we are constantly struggling. Okay. The other thing is the word video game is a very broad term. It can cover anything from mobile card games to a large open world. So I think there's a different solution for different scales and different types of games. I think it's more about finding choke points where you can collapse the complexity and then have these floodgates that only let the flow go one way. And you make sure that you go through them very methodically. Okay, so you've got to be diligent here. All right, you've worked on Assassin's Creed franchise, and I know there are hundreds of people working in each title in the series. Is there any way to avoid that? Do you always have to have so many people making each games? He says, I think we do, and I don't think we do, and I don't think it's tenable. There's a theory that says whenever humans create something that surpasses 100 people, it completely changes the dynamic of it. As soon as you surpass that ratio of management to people working on the game, explodes. You start having a very management-heavy structure. You need to have people to coordinate the people coordinating. Okay, so this is basically when you start getting middle management. Yeah, something that a lot of AAA studios mistakenly do, or certainly did in the past, is think that you can solve a problem by throwing people at it. By adding people to a problem stagnates the people that were already being efficient on it. It just creates a lot of variable noise. So I think the future lies in smaller teams. I think there's stuff we can learn from other industries. The film industries have evolved into coalesced core teams in which each person is responsible for putting together a crew to help them on a project. The crew is typically built for that project. It's a temporary crew, although, of course, people get the people they want to work with long term. They have their go-to people for various kinds of projects. This is really cool. Since its inception, I think that the gaming industry has treated itself as being a part of the software industry, but is kind of a weird hybrid. I think the future lies in taking that learning from the film industry, where you have core teams that are complemented with either outsourcing or with co-devs for specific needs. You get the right crew for the right project at the right time. So this is a long interview. I'm going to cut this here. I think this is an I think this guy has a lot of insightful stuff. I can leave the link for this down in the description below when I actually cut this into a video. I think him saying that there's a wicked problem. It's like every game kind of has its own issues and every game kind of has its problems. And when you solve for those problems, they might not be necessarily the most mathematically efficient to do in the next game. But also, you're in a team of like hundreds of people, so everybody needs to just do what they know. There's no time to actually figure out mathematical efficiency. And he was kind of talking about once you blow up over a certain team size, now you've got managers who need to manage the managers who are trying to manage the managers. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a management position, but there's always a joke is that, okay, we need to have a meeting about when we're going to have our next meeting so we can potentially discuss the future meeting that we're going to have about the next meeting. That is, I've been in that situation. It is so freaking true. And it's like, good Lord, you open up a meeting by talking about the last meeting you have, and then you might discuss something kind of sort of maybe new, and then you close the meeting by talking about the next meeting that you're going to have. It's freaking ridiculous. And then if you have a presentation that you need to do in that meeting, you've got to have a meeting to discuss your presentation before you go into the meeting where you're actually going to give the presentation. And this is all done, like once you start scaling up to a certain point, it goes from people doing their jobs to people having to talk about doing their jobs. And every single time you expand to a certain output or to a certain level of personnel, you get to this point. And I really think that the two things that he said here, which was the wicked problem and just having a crap ton of people on staff, kind of work against each other in a way that nobody really probably intended for and isn't intending for. That's why, I mean, this guy obviously worked on some of the what people consider to be the best Assassin's Creed games. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. I didn't know what I was going to get when I pulled up this interview. I could read the whole interview, but as time is limited, I think what I'll do is I'll leave it down in the description below for everybody to read so you guys can check it out. What do you guys think about the games industry going back to smaller teams? I mean, I think Expedition 33, if you guys have played that game, I am the type, I will fight anybody who's like, it's not that good of a game. No, it is that good of a game. It is that good of a game. It is. It is absolutely fantastic. Expedition 33 was done with 33 people, under $10 million, absolutely swept the Game Awards to the point. And here's what people need to understand about the Game Awards, because I get some people like, I don't even care about the Game Awards. Here's why it's important. You had a small team with a low budget that won over the journalists, and the journalists even voted the same way that the gamers were going to do. When the journalists vote against the big AAA guys, because they get all that access, they get access, they are the access media. When the access media votes for the little guy en masse like that, people need to pay attention, because it makes it easier for the journalists and the people and the mass media to do it again. And I think that that's very important. And especially with technology advancing to a point where we can get these smaller teams, I think a lot of games are going to come out in the future with much smaller teams. They're going to be tighter. They're going to be succinct. And I genuinely believe we're going to start seeing a lot of fantastic games. I mean, it's already kind of started. It's already kind of started. I mean, there were a bunch of decent games last year. Go all the way from indie solo guys to small what I like to call single A games. That's how I refer to Expedition 33 as a single A game, because they were not indie. They did take money from Kepler to finish their game, which makes them not indie, but I would say that they're single A because they had a low budget. And I mean, you had Silk Song, you had Expedition 33, you had how many indie games? You had Schedule 1 last year was another big one. There were a few others last year that actually really resonated with a lot of people that I just can't bring up to the top of my mind. But I definitely think we're headed in a good direction with this. I really do. I think the tools are there. I think the passion is there because I think a lot of people that lived through this last like 10 to 12 years of gaming is kind of tired of the crap that we've been getting. And a lot of people are saying we don't need AAA price tags. And not only that, we don't want to pay for that AAA price tag. Give us a game that looks good enough and we'll pay 40, 50 bucks for it. And guess what? A game that looks good enough doesn't need 400 people working on it. It might only need 30 people. And that's where I think the industry is going to head. We're going to get independent teams or small teams again working on passion projects. And every time you get, well, not every time, but a lot of times when those passion projects actually come to fruition, they come out absolute bangers. And they do solve for the things like the Wicked problem mentioned here. And they do learn a lot. So let me know, what do you guys think about just everything said in this interview, in the short portion of the interview that I read? I'd really love to hear from you guys in the chat right now and also in the comments down below in the VOD when I upload this to YouTube. So what say you, chat? I have to scroll up here. Oh, hello, Maji-chan. Oh, she's gone now. Oh. On break, but I thought I'd drop by and hit the like button and say, Royce, you are a dork. Yes, I have been told. The 2026 bromance has begun. Oh goodness. The future belongs to the, oh no, wait, I already read that one. Okay. Viva La Dirt League has a joke video about meetings. Viva La Dirt League does a great job. I freaking love their videos. I think my favorite one is where the Karen walks into the game store and is like, you didn't honor this sale that you were marketing to my son. Viva La Dirt League is absolutely hilarious. I freaking love them. They're so good. Shouldn't gaming studios then take note? I'm not a mega gamer like you guys, but what you talk about is interesting. Thank you. Well, see, because here's the thing is I really like talking about the gaming industry and what's going on with that, which is just business, right? And really, if you have any sort of passive interest in business, I think you could probably get into what I'm talking about here, because I really, really, really enjoy talking about, again, the staff sizes, how they're doing it, how they're leveraging creativity, what games are winning, what games are losing, why those games are winning and losing. All of that stuff interests me more so than just be like, I played this game for 100 hours and here's my review. It's like, I mean, yeah, I could play a game for 100 hours, but also it's 100 hours worth of game. And I don't necessarily have the time to delve into that, although I do have to complete The Witcher 3. But no, shouldn't game studios then take note? I don't think the AAA studios are going to take note. I think the indie guys and the smaller time guys already know it, but they don't know it necessarily consciously. They know it more so like out of necessity. It's like, we can't have a bigger team. We don't have the option to have a bigger team, so we need to do what we can do, just us. And we're going to have to take the time to do it right, because if we don't do it right, then nobody's going to buy our game, and we're going to be out, all of the time and money that we spent on this. And I think that's really what we're going to end up getting into. So, the AAA companies, you're going to get a couple of AAA games every year that are really good. One of the ones I'm actually looking forward is actually from Korea this year. It's called Crimson Desert. That game looks way too good to be true. Way too good to be true. Okay. The studios should take note. Yes. The problems are the arrogance and DEI, so they probably won't pay attention until the studio is on death's door. Dude, most of the DEI stuff died in like 2024. There's a couple that squeaked by. Most studios have completely abandoned that at this point. I think moving forward, if there is any of that stuff in game, it's gone. It's gone. It's dead. It had its short time It had its short time, out in public annoying everybody, but we promptly kicked DEI back in its fucking closet. And it's going to stay there for a while. It's going to come back out. It's going to come back out eventually, but no. I mean, the fact of the matter is most of that crap is just, it's dead. It's gone. It's not. And you can tell by the games that are doing well. You can tell by the games that people get excited for. You can tell by the ones that laughs in Bethesda, not dead yet. Bethesda's got a whole different problem that's not the DEI stuff. Bethesda's problem is that they can't release a fucking game without depending on their modders to come in and provide a bunch of free labor and fix their game. That and Bethesda's been that way for a lot of years. That's not just a Starfield thing. That's Bethesda's problem. I mean, nobody talked about the DEI in Starfield. Everybody just talked about just how the unadulterated suck that game was. Because it wasn't good. It wasn't even technically good. It barely ran. It was bad. I was watching all kinds of stuff on that game when it came out, and I just laughed. I was like, this is funny. So, no. Bethesda has a bunch of other issues outside of that. And like I said, this year, I didn't see a whole lot of games with... I didn't see a bunch of games with the hardcore, like, DEI messaging and stuff like that. And a lot of the gender and race swaps and things that you'd seen in previous years, because it's just not, it's not doing well. I mean, the one that you could say was probably Ghost of Yotei, but didn't win any game awards. See, that's the thing. Go look at the game awards. DEI didn't win the game awards. And all of the games that were announced, with the exception of a couple, were fucking games made for dudes. Go look at the game awards. Look at all of the announcements of all of the games. They were all games made for dudes or like party games. There was no DEI announced in this year's game awards. What? You're offended?
So it's made for dudes.
My love, you play games for dudes.
I am a dude.
You pretty much. Anyway. My wife is actually, no, I'm a dude. You once talk about the bloat and the size of the workforce in AAA game companies. Is that what you are referring to when you say they won't take note, or do you think they are too big to fail? No, a slightly different problem here. The bloat actually comes from the AAA companies are traded publicly. So they have a fiduciary responsibility to prove to their investors that the money that their investors are giving them are actually going to a thing. Well, generally, a game kind of works in stages, and a lot of it needs to kind of be kept quiet because you don't want spoilers and stuff like that getting out. And so one of the things that these companies had to start doing when they started taking public money is, how do we show the investors we're actually using their money for the game that we're developing? Oh, we hire a shit ton of people. And you will notice that the more that we saw, graph go up in the stock market for the games industry, the more people that they hired. And so I don't think that they're too big to fail. I think they're absolutely going to fail. But I think the problem in the games industry is the fact that they are publicly traded. We need to get the games industry away from the stock market, because anytime you have a fiduciary responsibilities to some, fuckstick corporate, Wall Street fat cat, you're not going to design a game with creativity in mind. You're just not. So that's really what I talk about when I talk about the bloat and where I think the bloat comes from. Because I absolutely think it comes from the fact that they're publicly traded and we need stock number to go up. And well, the investors want to see what do you have to show for all your work? It's like, oh, well, we hired like 4,000 people. See, investors, we hired people. That means game is getting made better, right? And most of these investors, if you actually look at most of the people who own stocks, they tend to be older. Apparently people get mad when I mention statistics and things like that and where I think stuff began, and supposedly I hate old people, which I make the joke on the channel. But anyway, if you look at the people who own stocks, Most stocks are owned by people in a certain age group and also by people in a certain wealth category. Those people do not tend to be gamers. So they don't understand the process of making games. They don't understand the creative endeavor, and they just want to see, I invested in your company. What are you doing with that money? Easiest way to show them, hire a bunch of people. Worst way to kill your game, hire a bunch of people. So again, the two goals are not necessarily aligned, and they're not even really intertwined. So that's kind of what I mean by the AAA companies and doing that. Goodness. Oh, my voice is going out again. This is what I get for doing.
Did I get you sick?
6. No, I did. I've literally done, in the last 3 days doing presentations, I've done over 20 hours of presentations in 3 days. My voice is shot. And also, I haven't stretched the old singing pipes in a while, and so on the way home today, I just turned on some tunes that I know, and I was like, all right, let's go through my practice tunes and stuff like that, and made my voice even worse because I like singing, and that was once upon a time what I wanted to do with my life. So, all right. So, moving forward, it's very bright now. We're on a website with high beams. Ladies and gentlemen, the news with Ubisoft just keeps getting worse and funnier. I don't even know how to describe Ubisoft. Ubisoft is the meme of the gaming world right now. I want to give it to Xbox, but Ubisoft is just so much more memeable. So let's go over here to the Video Game Chronicles, VGC.com. Over on VideoGameChronicles.com, Ubisoft has closed its Halifax studios and claimed the decision is unrelated to recent unionization. No, it's not. No, it's not. And we'll get into that. All right. Ubisoft has closed its Halifax, Canada studio, which could result in around 70 employees losing their job. That is nothing for that company. Ubisoft has like 20,000 people. They have 20,000 people and they can't, dude, Ubisoft has 20,000 people, and between those 20,000 people, they can't even shit out a good game. It is ridiculous, dude. This company they have no clue how to develop a good game anymore. Is it because I think they didn't keep around their good talent? Well, obviously they didn't, because in the previous article, we just heard from a guy who, worked on some of their best games, and then, he doesn't work there anymore. So, and then obviously one of their guys who was in marketing that he didn't want to work there left, went and made Expedition 33. And with a couple of extra devs from Ubisoft. So we know where their talent is going. So anyway, they're going to lay off around 70 people losing their jobs. They're going to lay off around 70 people who are going to lose their jobs. And in an email sent to staff on Wednesday, reviewed by VGC, Ubisoft said it had decided to close the Ubisoft Halifax as part of the company-wide cost-cutting and restructuring measures. I wonder why. Halifax is the studio behind the mobile title Assassin's Creed Rebellion. Okay. Only last month, Ubisoft Halifax workers formed a union with around 60 workers signing up to the Game and Media Workers Guild of Canada. Oh, you did it to yourselves. I'm sorry. Because here's what's funny. So, we'll get into their workforce. So Ubisoft claimed the decision to close the Halifax was made well before this decision and said it fully respects the employees' rights to unionize. Okay. I am actually. I'm going to say something dirty. I'm going to say something dirty, and I don't like it. Ubisoft is a French company, and the French tend to be strongly union, which means that they're probably telling the truth. Oh my God. Oh, I have to praise a corporation and the French at the same time. Oh, can I wash this feeling? Can I wash this off? I didn't think I was going to praise a French corporation. Ugh. Okay. All right. The union responded, I don't care. I don't care about unions. Over the past 24 months, Ubisoft has undertaken a company-wide actions to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and reduce costs. A spokesman told VGC, as part of this, Ubisoft has made the difficult decision to close its Halifax studio. Okay, 71 positions will be affected. We are committed to supporting all impacted team members during this transition with resources including comprehensive severance packages and additional career assistance, which means they should be helping you find a new job, hopefully. Assassin's Creed Rebellion, a free-to-play strategy RPG, I didn't even know this was a thing, launched in 2018. However, its revenue have steadily declined, prompting the recent decision to end live operations and stop producing new content for the game. So wait a minute. The game that you developed in 2018 is losing money. So then you decide it's a good idea to go unionize, which usually when you join unions, you get union rates and your wages go up. And the company is like, okay, but your game is losing money. Why do you want more money for a product that's not making more money? Oh, I have to. Oh, nope, it's getting worse. I'm still defending a French corporation. I wanted to make fun of Ubisoft. They're French and smelly and Ubisoft. My hatred of unions is winning over my absolutely just lowful opinion of the French. I will never come back from this. I don't know if I'll ever come back from this. Ugh, what has happened to me? It's been a turbulent year for Assassin's Creed publisher, which late last year opened up a new subsidiary owned by Tencent, Vantage Studios, which now oversees its biggest franchises. Tencent holds a 25% stake in the new subsidiary. Oh my goodness. And will act in an advisory role with final creative and business decisions, resting with the co-CEO, Christopher Durans, and Charlie Guillemont, which I believe is the son of the Ubisoft, claims it's shifting towards a less centralized operating model in an attempt to give creative teams more ownership of the brands they worked on. Also, so they don't actually have a corporate takeover by investors. That's the entire reason that they did the Tencent deal. Okay. Outside of me actually kind of defending a French corporation. God, it just sounds gross every time I say it. Every time I say it. Okay. This studio in Canada, which gross, ew. This studio in Canada was losing money. Their game was losing money. They then decide to unionize. Why do people unionize? 9 times out of 10, it's so they can get more money. Ubisoft is probably sitting there going, why do you guys want more money when the product that you made is not making more money? It's 70 people out of like a 20,000 workforce or something like that. This is microscopic in the scope of the company, and they obviously are working with Tencent now. So realistically, I think Ubisoft is actually making the correct decision here. Your games need to make money so you can stay employed. If your games start to lose money, guess what? You probably lose your job. It's very simple. If you start losing your company money, you start losing your job and losing your money. It's not hard. It's no hard. I don't know. I have no idea what accent I just evolved in. This is ridiculous to me. Every time I hear, oh, they wanted to start a union, I'm like, oh, so, and usually the people who want to start unions are generally the lazy workers.
Where'd you put that other truck key?
It's on the floorboard of the Expedition.
Okay.
I didn't move it.
Okay.
Did you lose another truck key?
I just had it.
So you lost another truck key?
I just had it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't lost it, I just can't find it.
That's losing it.
Nope, it's just I can't find it.
Keep your car keys away from my wife. Just, if you ever meet her, just keep your car keys away from her. Anyway, moving back. It tends to be the lazy workers who want to defend their jobs with unions because they don't actually produce enough to the company to provide value for the company to be like, oh, we need to keep you. You're valuable to us. We need to keep you. So what do? They run to a union and say, well, obviously I'm valuable, which means I need to be able to stay in the company. And the union goes, yes, sweetheart. Of course you're valuable. You're special. Hi, Bishop. Hi, Doggo. Yep, Doggo has to come join the stream now. And so the union comes up and they say, yes, special snowflake, of course we'll protect you. And because governments are absolutely corrupt, we're going to get kickbacks every time we defend a worker from the government. So we're going to make sure that you, useless worker, get to keep your job and get paid more to do it. And I think the companies are like, nah, we're done. You can leave now. I don't know. That, like I said, I was hoping to kind of make fun of Ubisoft and be like, hey, stupid French. And then I didn't. I'm praising the French over firing weak Canadians. My bloodline is both of those things. You see how conflicted I am. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below of the VOD and chat. What say you? Oh, man. Oh, hey, Mrs. Carol Brown showed up. Fantastic. Good to see you. Oh, goodness. You guys were talking about a lot of stuff. 20K workforce. Dear Lord. So what? Everyone has the job to do a line of code? I don't know. It's ridiculous. Yes, they have an immense workforce at Ubisoft. They are a worldwide company. It is absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. Cleanse your palate, sir. Thank you. Oh, my wife got me some Lining Googles. It's summer shandy. It's not summer right now, but word to the wise. When it's 100 degrees outside and you're mowing your lawn, don't start drinking these. Because you'll finish a 6-pack before the lawn is mowed. And then you're going to go, why are the lines not straight? I might know somebody who've done that before. It's a power wash. Wash it down with some White Claw. No, 9 and Kugels. Summer shandy. It's so good. I love this stuff. Take a shot of Everclear and call us next week, right? No, I still have to go to work tomorrow. Goodness. That picture from AC Rebellion looked like an off-brand Lego. It looked horrible. Carol Brown, you have a comfy recliner. It actually would recline, but there is not enough space in here that I could have adjusted this. Well, I probably could have adjusted it, but to make it recline. But yeah, it's... No, it's just literally this is actually a part of our sectional couch. This is part of a wraparound couch. So I literally took the centerpiece that has the up thing here and this here, and then I took one of the end pieces and stuck them in here. And so yes, I basically took a piece of our sectional and turned it into a comfy. I'm a couch gamer. I like playing with controllers, and I like playing sitting on a couch, and I was not going to move my very expensive PC upstairs in the living room where my German Shepherd could potentially knock it over. So it's wonderful to see you, Carol. I haven't seen you in the live chat in a while. I need to interview you, young miss. I need to do this. There's a reason. I forgot what the reason, but basically I just want to hang out with you on stream because you're super awesome. Royce is still looking for the White Claw sponsorship. No, I'm not. That math is pretty good math. What math did I do? I hear my wife. I have your keys. I want you to pay attention to me. Oh, she's out of the room. I will have to tell her. You started to sound like an Austin Powers villain. You know what? I'm okay with it. I have no idea what that accent was. Sometimes I just make noises, and whatever the noises come out as, man, I don't know how much longer my voice is going to last. It's going to be worse in a few weeks. I did 3 days this week of this stuff, and not next week or the week the last week of January. I have an entire week that I have to do, a full 5 days, Monday through Friday, 8 hours talking about OSHA, answering questions. or well, not a full 8 hours. It's usually 8 to 3. And the reason I don't go like longer than that is because I have people who are traveling multiple hours away. So but nope, I'm going to be talking nonstop from 8 o'clock until 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday. It's going to be fun. Oh man, my voice is gonna, no, started to sound like get bogus scammers. Pretty puppers. Yep. That's Bishop. He's our old boy. He is the third generation that we have. I had his grandfather, his father, and now him. So, babies. Yeah. You go come over here too. I know mama left, huh? Yeah. Mama left, huh? Yeah. Now, if you come over here, you can be on your YouTube video. You're not going to crawl on my lap, though. You're not a lap dog. He thinks he's a lap dog, but he's like 120 pounds. So we keep trying to get him to lose weight, but he doesn't care because he's a fat ass. Now, you guys stop being fat. He's old. He's not going to stop being fat. He doesn't care anymore. So, obligatory puppers. Yes. Work is overrated. It absolutely can be. No, get your butt away from my PC, please. I don't know. I don't want it. I don't want it right now. I have to do the show with the peoples. I have to talk to the peoples. It's very hard to talk to you. No, don't do that. That about hurt. It's very hard to talk to you and the peoples at the same time. I can't even read their chats right now. You don't even care, do you? You don't care about the peoples. He doesn't even care about you guys. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't even know you're there. It's kind of rude. It's kind of rude, huh? Yeah, it's kind of rude, huh? You did it. It's kind of rude, huh? Okay. All right. No, stop it. No, go. Good boy. Okay. Have to dip. I'll bug you next week. Have a good one. You'll have to interview me in a few weeks. I'll DM you. Yes. Like I said, it's just to hang out. I miss hanging out with the old crew, and I haven't done any interviews in a while. So yes. His father before him and his father's father. Yes. Yep. He's third generation. Sadly. So, I mean, realistically, like, I do want him to have puppies. I would actually not mind because he's a black lab and his mom was mostly German Shepherd. I would really like him to actually have puppies with our German Shepherd before he dies, but he is so fat and his hips are old hips. When our German Shepherd's in heat, he can't actually get up there to accomplish the goal. So he just chases her around the house. He gets a lot of exercise. I hope kept that vague enough for YouTube. But yeah, no, but I would love to absolutely have a fourth generation because I've had a third generation. And it's so funny is because I can see his grandfather in him. His grandfather's been dead for a few years and I can, still see a little bit of his dad. He looked more like his grandfather than his dad, but I would absolutely love. So rising to the challenge is tough for him, you say. In a certain sense, you could say that he he can rise in other ways. Sadly, I've seen that. You all know what I'm talking about. If you've seen a dog that, never mind. We don't need to go there. Oh, but yeah, I think that the generations that we have, the 3 generations that we have, they are not. They're not going to be. They're going to end with him, which makes me sad. And I don't even want to look into like artificial insemination costs. So, because I think that would be just a ridiculous amount of money. Ugh. Guys, I'm sorry. My voice is starting to fade. I'm starting to have to work on it more and more to hold it. And I definitely think I need to give it a break. I really wanted to cover a couple of. I need to start reacting to some more of these videos and stuff. Maybe that's what I'll do. Is I'll pick Monday night here. Okay, chat. Here's your challenge. Tim Allen, and would you say this in the Discord for me? If you guys are here, I want you guys to say this in the Discord, and I want you guys to tag me in the Discord. So it would be nice if you guys would find some videos that you like that are somewhat relevant, like within the last week or two, that are a little shorter. But how about we do just a video reaction stream on Monday? Because I really want to see what you guys are thinking. I don't care what they are. It could be a comedy video. It could be, I would like it to be with more recent. And the reason I would like it to be more recent, totally the YouTuber thing, is because I can kind of use the title and kind of do that and kind of piggyback off of the fans of those channels and try to bring them over here to hang out with us some more. And that's what I want to do. But if you guys go in the Discord, tag me in what you want me to react to, tag me in what you want me to watch. Oh, Aviva the Dirt League would be freaking hilarious. Or just whatever. I mean, even guys like Habitual Line Crosser, I watch him all the time anyway. But he does military stuff, just anything. Any short videos, even if it's a discussion and you're just like, Royce, I think that this will get you raging. Ooh, I don't want to go back to raging. But didn't need that vision in my mind. You know, I didn't either, but the conversation was going there. And you get what you get, Tim Allen. Oh no, I have to rename the stream now. Damn it, I was going to make fun of Ubisoft. The Kid and Grandpa Buff. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love those videos. So those are like Insta watches. Those come up and when he made the Washington DC character, which sounds like Trump, call the UK toast beaner. Oh man, that was so funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before my voice officially goes out, I'm gonna hit the outro music. And tomorrow, I'm going to continue playing The Witcher 3. Oh, good Lord. Hopefully it gets good. I want this game to get good. And I also want you guys to post some more recent videos. Please, more recent videos, because they're definitely easier for the algorithm to do. Or even, you know, don't, you're going to get close to my computer. Don't, oh my God, my computer almost died. He needs to go outside. Puppers needs to go outside. You guys, please post what you want to check out. We're going to do nothing but a react stream on Monday. It's gonna be your videos, not even articles, unless I see a really, really good one. This is a really good one. But I have a problem. I don't want to just react to videos that I watch on my own. I want you guys to post videos in the Discord and say, Royce, it's under 10 minutes. The reason I want you guys to stick around the 10-minute mark is because I am terrible at reactions. I talk way too the fuck much. I can turn a 10-minute video into an hour and a half, which is part of the reason I don't do reactions very often. But Charlie Burns comedy too. Oh my gosh, Charlie Burns is freaking hilarious. I love him. If you've got a short of his that you want me to react to, well, and I live in the Midwest now, so I'm kind of starting, which is weird. So here's the thing. I grew up in Colorado. Before Colorado turned into mini California, I remember what Colorado used to be like. And most of the jokes they make about the Midwest, that's how Colorado used to be. Turns out the Midwest is just normal people. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to A Drink with Crazy. As always, until next time, cheers, everybody.